Hey guys, time to talk about the Thrunite Archer 1A version 3. Now this is probably, if not the best, one of the best flashlights I've ever reviewed. This thing just blew me away. Now I just finished filming my 2A review, and the 2A, I thought was good, but I think this thing, for the price, for the size, makes one amazing flashlight. So let's run through the numbers. This one also uses the Cree XPL V6 LED, which is the best XPL on the market. It is the newest and best XPL. Not like other flashlights that give you some, LEDs that are a couple years old and there's newer stuff out there. Nope, this is the best XPL. Yes, there's other better LEDs out there, but they gave you the most updated version of the XPL, which is nice. You have a small lumen firefly mode, 0.1 lumen for 17 days, 17 lumens for 22 hours, a medium for 75 lumens for 5 hours, and your high is 200 lumens for 115 minutes. Also has a strobe mode. Working voltage 0.9 to 5 volts. So you can use alkaline nickel metal hydride as well as lithium energizer lithiums and lithium ion primary rechargeable, IPX8 waterproof, impact resistant to a meter, partridge in a pear tree. The beauty of this thing is not only is this thing really super bright for a single AA, and it has really good run times, but also using the lithium rechargeable lithium batteries, you can get a super bright 300 to 400 lumen mode that'll last you about 25 minutes, which is really excellent. Now, runtime testing I had a lot of difficulty doing, guys, because this light does step down after a couple of minutes to prevent it from overheating. But I did test with nickel metal hydrides. I had to sit there and just keep clicking the light up and clicking it up, and I did get about 110 minutes with nickel metal hydride, so that is pretty accurate compared to what Thrunite is advertising. And right now we're actually in the middle of my alkaline test, and let me look. We are 1 hour and 25 minutes into it, and this thing is still going. It's not very bright anymore, but you're also talking about 90 minutes on an alkaline, which is one amazing feat. So the run times I got seem to be pretty consistent. I did do some brightness testing with the ceiling bounce method, which is pretty much bounce the light off of like something white, and then you measure it with a lux meter, and you can calibrate it by changing up the distances. And what I've done is calibrated it so that the actual lux measurement is very close to the actual lumens, and I've compared this to all the other flashlights I've owned to verify, and I actually have a pretty good setup that's pretty accurate. And we'll show you right here what I got for numbers, so you can pause that if you want to look at that real quick. But basically what I found is that in all the different batteries, the 0 was a 0, the 12 was pretty much 12, the 60 was pretty much 60, and then I got 135 lumens for alkaline, 191 for nickel metal hydride, which is very close to the 200, and giving my errors probably around 10%, pretty close. Lithium ion, I got 485 lumens, but however, as the lumens go up, the error goes up. So at that point you're talking closer to 100 lumens off. My guesstimation, based on how this other flashlights in that lumen range and that number, is about 350 to 375 is my estimation. So like I said, run times seem to be pretty consistent. Everything ran very well. Let's take a closer look at this thing, how it works. You have a tail clicky in the back, rubberized boot. It does tail stand. Not going to on this t-shirt that I'm using as a backdrop, but pretty much how it works is rear clicky turns it on and off, and now it won't turn back on because the battery is so dead, and then your side clicky will change through modes. Oh, there you go. So that will put you through the modes, and right now we don't have all 4 modes because the battery is so drained. That's the cool thing, guys. When this thing is really super dead, you will still get light out of it. It will turn on in the lower modes, no problem. So there's your moonlight mode. As you can see, it's a very light moonlight. Hold in for strobe. Click again to turn it off, and it has a memory. So when you turn it off and turn it back on, it will memorize the mode it just won't memorize strobe. Good knurling on the tube. Pocket clip is very functional and very strong. We got some anti-roll flats up here along the bezel. The switch is metal, which is good. You don't have to worry about that getting torn up in your pockets, which often happens. You put this in your pocket with keys. Rubber boots can get caught up in your keys and stuff, so this is metal. And it also has a lot of give to it, so it's not going to turn on in your pocket just from mere pressure. You actually really have to push it to make it click, which is good. I think that's a really good upgrade. Because some of my older Thrunites, I like this style switch a lot better. I think it's a lot more quality, and I have less issues with it clicking. So, not that it matters, because you got to turn on the tail switch anyway, but you know, you don't always want to be hearing that every time you sit down. Orange peel reflector, which gives you the nice smooth beam that it has. Real glass. There's your XPL V6. Good knurling. Construction is very well. I've torn this thing apart. As usual with a Thrunite, you have good springs. Thrunites always end up with really good springs, really good contact boards, all that stuff. Ooh, that's the head part's glued, so I can't take that off. Just put this battery in here, guys, and we'll talk a bit more and then call it a day. So, value-wise, at 36 bucks, this may intimidate you. You may say, geez, that's a lot of money for a AA flashlight. Bear a little bit in mind here, guys. Number one, you're getting a 200 lumen light out of a AA, which is pretty much the upper limit. And if you switch over to the lithium ion, you're getting like a 350, 375. Also, pretty much at the upper limit. This light really does take it to the absolute upper limit. It has really good regulation. When I did my testing, and I'll put my link down for budgetlightforum.com eventually when I do my write-up, and I'll put all my run times and lumen testing in chart format so you guys can look. So check back in like a week, and I'll have the link down there in the description box. And you know, those run times came out good. The lumen test, everything came out good with this. It has really good regulation. The brightness stays up when you're using nickel metal hydrides or energizer lithium. The brightness stays very high for almost the entire length of the run. A lot of flashlights will say, oh, it's 200 lumens, and it's 200 lumens for 5 minutes, and then it dips down to 100, and then it slowly dips down to 50, and then that's it. This is a light that stays 200 lumens for like most of the runtime, which is awesome. It stays right up there, very high, very good regulation. Thrunite really puts a lot of effort into their flashlights. A lot of people like to talk bad about them and say, oh, well, they only give free flashlights out, and that's the only reason why people like them. No, the reason why people like them is because they're actually good. They're super tough. You've seen the destruction test, even my torture test. These things are just about unbreakable. You can get them through Amazon in like 3 days if you have Prime. Their prices are actually very competitive with other flashlights of similar quality. No, this isn't going to compete with your $2 Walmart special, but your $2 Walmart special isn't going to be 200 lumens and have run times like this. It's just not going to happen. So if you want this kind of quality, really, Thrunite is the way to go. I've compared these lights to other lights, and every time they come ahead. They always have better runtime. They always have better regulation. Their lumens are always honest. They never exaggerate with their lumens or runtimes. They're actually very, very honest with that. The construction's always good. I've never had issues with them. You know, like just everything that works out. And with this flashlight, I tested this, compared it to the Olight S15, Thorfire TG06, a couple of my other flashlights. It beats everyone in lumens. It beats everyone in runtime. Well, not everyone, because like for example, like the Thorfire TG06 will run forever on an alkaline. The reason why is it's a very low amp, low draw light. It'll just pull on those alkalines forever and just keep getting dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. So that thing will run like 2.5 hours. But it's only like 80 lumen 90% of the time. So there are differences, and what you want in a light is very important. But for me, I want a light that has good regulation, that stays the same brightness for most of the run. I want a light that's tough, rugged, that does what I want it to do. And this light is all of those things, and it's pocketable. You can put it in your pocket. It's a good EDC light. And if you're going to bring this thing camping, you're going to go wherever in the cold weather, you can put an Energizer lithium in there. Those are rated to like negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and they still run great in the cold. They run great in the heat. So you have that capability as well. If you want the super bright light, because maybe you're just EDCing it, use it for 5 minutes a day, slap that lithium ion in there, and you've got a 350 lumen little pocket rocket. There's so much you can do with this, so many different opportunities. Set up the batteries how you want it. Just really great, pocket friendly. Put it in your car, backpack with it, camp with it, hunt with it. You can pretty much do anything you want with this little guy. It fits a lot of needs in such a small package, and for 35 bucks, this thing is an absolute bargain.